राजस्थान हाईकोर्ट का प्लैटिनम जुबली महोत्सव है। उपराष्ट्रपति जगदीप धनखड़ भी कार्यक्रम में संबोधित कर रहे हैं, सुनिए।
श्री एजी मसीह जज ऑफ द सुप्रीम कोर्ट ऑफ इंडिया, ऑनरेबल जस्टिस श्री संदीप मेहता, जज सुप्रीम कोर्ट ऑफ इंडिया, ऑनरेबल श्री जस्टिस मनेंद्र मोहन श्रीवास्तव, चीफ जस्टिस राजस्थान हाई कोर्ट, Honorable Law Minister, Government of Rajasthan, and himself an advocate, Sri Jogaram Patel, Honorable Sri Manan Kumar Mishra, Chairman Bar Council of India. मनन जी, आपका रेफरेंस कर रहा हूँ। श्री तुषार मेहता, सॉलिसिटर जनरल ऑफ इंडिया, श्री भुवनेश शर्मा जी, चेयरमैन बार काउंसिल ऑफ राजस्थान, श्री एस.सी. श्रीमाली, को चेयरमैन बार काउंसिल ऑफ इंडिया, श्री जे.एस. चौधरी, कन्वीनर एंड मेंबर बार काउंसिल ऑफ राजस्थान, श्री देवेंद्र सिंह राठौड़, वाइस चेयरमैन बार काउंसिल ऑफ राजस्थान, श्री राजेश पवार, को कन्वीनर एंड मेंबर बार काउंसिल ऑफ राजस्थान, distinguished president and former judges, members of the bar council at present and those who have been in this position, distinguished audience. It is a profound honor to address this gathering on this momentous occasion, the Platinum Jubilee celebration of the Rajasthan High Court. I have the honor and privilege to have a deep emotive sense of belonging to this elevated constitutional institution and owe it to all that I have been and am, alongside my parents and alma mater, Sainik School, Chittorgarh. Platinum Jubilee celebration is indeed a cherished milestone in the journey of any institution, all the more for one that is amongst fundamental pillars of our democracy. Honorable members, distinguished audience, this is an occasion to remember with deep sense of gratitude the ones who shaped the institution to be what it is today. My salutations to them. Even angels will fear to refer to names, as there is possibility some worthy names may be missed out inadvertently and be hurtful to my conscience. We all are proud of them, judges and lawyers, now and earlier, who happen to be part of this august institution. Also a befitting occasion, distinguished audience, an occasion to reflect on the principles that underpin our democratic institutions, their alignment with our rich cultural heritage, and hence focus on the contemporaneously relevant brief of the moment, role of judiciary in emerging India. Distinguished audience, Bharat, home to 1/6 of humanity, has rich judicial traditions rooted deeply in our cultural and spiritual heritage, spanning thousands of years. Judicial system of a nation and its functionality define its democratic vibrancy. An independent, robust justice system is quite essential to any shape of governance, as this is lifeline of life as such. After independence, the nation came to have constitutionally structured hierarchical judiciary. A feature to note, by virtue of Article 227 of the Constitution, every High Court, I'm quoting, shall have superintendence over all courts and tribunals throughout the territories in relation to which it exercises jurisdiction, unquote. Supreme Court has no such superintendence over high courts and tribunals as per constitutional ordainment. I would, however, seek to still introspective, reflective focus by the concerned that the institution of the High Court and that of its Chief Justice is spinally fundamental to justice delivery, and any dilution, perceptional or otherwise, would weaken judiciary as pillar of our democracy. My reference to this extent is sufficient given the occasion and given the distinguished audience and their involvement both with the Constitution and the institutions. I leave it at that for your thoughts. Role of judiciary in emerging India, the subject of the moment, is pivotal and critical to sustaining and blossoming of democratic values and development of the nation. Let me first state of the nation at the moment. We all can raise our head in pride. The nation is on the exponential, unprecedented rise. The economic surge is continual. Our nation is a lead nation in the world, a favorite global destination of investment and opportunity. Honorable members, what I see today was beyond dream, even contemplation of people of my generation. Economy, just a decade ago, we were considered one of the fragile 5 economies on the brink. What a leap in a decade! India today is positioned ahead of the UK, Canada, Brazil and France. And distinguished audience is on track to overtake Japan and Germany. We are now the 3rd largest economy in terms of purchasing power, and our foreign exchange reserves stand well over $600 billion US. When I was a member of parliament in 89 and a minister, the size of our economy was smaller than that of city of London or Paris. Our foreign exchange then was dwindling around $1 billion US, and our gold in physical form had to be airlifted to be placed to 2 Swiss banks. We indeed have come a long way, beyond a dream and contemplation of people of my generation. Distinguished audience, please take note, global accolades are pouring in from the International Monetary Fund, the World Bank, and the World Economic Forum, and the like. The World Bank has praised India for achieving its financial inclusion, and let me tell you, financial inclusion means 500 million bank accounts for the first time, 100 million farmers getting direct transaction in their accounts 3 times a year. And World Bank says India has achieved its financial inclusion objectives within an impressive